about all you need to write down. I just thought two great offensive approaches. Both teams had double-digit hits. And I thought the pitchers fought. I thought Samuel Dutton absolutely, he's sitting right here, just fought his guts out to us to get us later in the game to be able to pass the baton to a guy that we trust to close games. Same side, every time I praise us for something, I'm gonna do the same thing with Stetson there. They brought Van Dyke in there. Their reliever is just absolutely incredible, one of the best. I think righties are hitting under 100 on the season. But the lefties, I thought Bub's big hit took off the left field wall, and Ike, there was a huge run there in the top of the ninth. We were able to get to the finish line, but you can just tell approaches when you're locked in and you know a team does a good job if you don't make a pitch. Wasn't a lot of strikeouts on either side. That ball was put in play. There was amazing defense on both sides. Great effort. Another unbelievable crowd, a great atmosphere for postseason. That's what it's supposed to be like, and you could absolutely feel it in the ballpark. So I'm thankful to win that one. Both nights have been a grind, and all you can do is just come out and play hard. It's not going to be perfect. You just play it as hard as you can and keep moving forward, and I think we did that again tonight.
Start your front left.
Yeah, for Sam, just wanted to ask, I mean, what have the last 2 weeks been like for you, not pitching in a game and gearing up for, you know, the inevitable regional appearance?
Yeah, a lot of rest, obviously. But I think that was a good thing, getting back to who I am as a pitcher, getting back and focusing on my plan as a pitcher. And, you know, I really think that made all the difference in the world.
Stand front row.
Butch, you talked about this, but Bub Terrell's at bat in the seventh, 2 outs, worked a 3-2 count, and had that opposite field double there. Just how special was that, watching that freshman do that?
I think he's got 3 hits both nights, and come to the park thinking the same thing tomorrow. Right? Just keep having good at bats, and he's going to control what he can control. I'd ask our players to do that, the coaches, myself, to just try to, you know, be ready, have good at bats. I think the ball was doubled off the wall. He got a 2-0, and I think he was a little bit late. He just started fighting from there and wound up getting that big swing. Again, just we got a lot of good players, and that's what I'd want our players to know. You don't know who's going to wind up doing it. Cooper McMurray could just be sitting here as well. What a great night he had, I think, with 3 hits, and hopefully just keep traveling in a pack. I think that's one of our best strengths of our ball club, and if we have any intention of trying to have success tomorrow or whatever, that offense has got to travel as a pack. You know, we got to get the ball to Hetzler. I mean, it's no secret what teams are trying to do. After you play 50-plus ball games, everybody has their identity set, and this is who they are. And can you get to those points? That's really the coach's job now. Can you get to the stages of the game and have the right guy at the plate, have the right guy on the mound, and let these guys decide it on the field?
For Butch, that 7th inning, you know, Hester came in, bases were loaded, you guys got that ground out of it. How much of a turning point was that in the game, and what did that say about just, you know, his kind of just poise on the mound in situations like that?
Baseball is random. It's different from some of our other sports. There's a lot of round objects and things going on, and we scored 4 runs the first 3 innings, and I had 5 hard hit outs penciled in. I mean, balls hit on the screws. They hit some balls hard later on. I wish we'd have got more than 4 because I thought we smoked some baseballs, and just everything was crisp, everything was sharp. And all those moments are big. It would change it. The randomness of a ball would have just bounced over the fielder's head or dumped in. When I'm sitting here talking about 5 screamers that were right to a glove, there is some randomness in our game. I thought it propelled him to get deeper in the ball game in the 5th inning when we got a 5-4-3 double play. I thought that was huge because they're so scrappy and kept getting that leadoff man on. I mean, I can look at 4 or 5 moments. You know, we had a ball that was tailing away from us in right field there as soon as Hets were coming to the ball game. Didn't quite look like his stuff was set. We weren't able to make a play. That was something that drew it back in and made it a ball game at the time. That's why his double was so big off the wall in that moment, because until then, I mean, when he first got dumped in the game, he saw some righties, and that dude had his stuff set, and it was going to take us a minute. That was big. Ike was running towards center field, they scored a run, and he chopped a runner down on one of the best throws you're gonna see on any field, any level. That's why I was trying to advertise, I'm not just coach speaking, that's an amazing college baseball game played at a high level in some of those moments tonight.
All right, Jason.
Bub, you're an energy guy. First, what was that like, that experience tonight? And then you walk us through that at bat, but with the double there.
It was great. You know, I always like to fire my guys up. And at bat, I mean, you know, I've been locked in since day one of regionals, and you know, I don't feel like anybody can get a ball by me. And you know, since I'm just missing them pitches, you know, I can just foul off. And 3-2, I had 3-2 doubles. You know, 3-2 is like an advantage count. You know, I can either get a hit or get a walk, so I feel like I'm in a good situation.
But you mentioned Cooper's night. For someone like me who doesn't see your team every day like a lot of these folks, tell me about the consistency that he's shown as a run producer through his 3 years here.
Yeah, it's probably a mirror image. It probably looks the same, you know, at the end of the day, whether it's a little slower start this year for him as a senior. But at the end of the day, he's carrying those numbers and having great at-bats for us. This, probably from the second half of SEC play, and hopefully he just continues to carry forward. I think those numbers are just consistent. The other thing he did is he dropped about 35 pounds going into this year. He looks great, and I can't miss his defensive stuff that he does for us too. He makes those guys better. Who's ever at second, short, and third base benefits from him being here another year, because they can, at 6'4", he uses the entire base toward home plate. You know, down the line, he can use the whole base, and he picks 50 balls a day. You know, he's got just tap him on the shoulder to get your picks, and he's just gotten good at it. He knows how to trap it, go get it, retreat. Just a great feel. I think he's put up those consistent offensive numbers for 3 years, but I think the defense and his maturity, and especially his leadership, he's one of our captains on our team this year, voted by these guys. So Cooper is layered and grown, and to me, this is the favorite year, even if all the numbers look the same, because of that leadership and just how good he's become defensively as well.
Second row, Phillip.
Butch, you got 3 freshmen, one of whom sitting there beside you, who have played very important roles on this team. How unusual is that for a team that's accomplished all y'all have, to have three true freshmen playing roles like that, and what has that meant to the success of this team?
Yeah, it's made a difference. It's lengthened our lineup. It's made it deeper. These guys are ready. They're not freshmen anymore. They've already played a whole college baseball season. So they have a ton of at-bats. They have a ton of experience, and these guys these are some of our best baseball players that we have now. But I'm proud of them. They've been strong enough and physical enough, and I think Bub's one of the 3 that's here. I think our guys have done a good job with them. Our guys have already been through it, staying with them, staying on them, and just bringing each other along. I think they've grown, but these are 3, and it's a blessing, because after last year, you know, there was a narrative of like, hey man, you need old players, you need to go hit the portal, and we immediately, I thought that was a big decision that we made, is like, these guys are amazing. I'm bringing them. I'm gonna do what's best for Auburn, not for Butch Thompson. So the lack of self-preservation has been a blessing when we just try to do the right thing all the time and bring these great ball players. And these guys earned the right to be on the field. If they hadn't, somebody else would be in there. But these guys have been amazing, and they're great baseball players, and I'm thankful they're here. It's gonna be fun to watch. It's fun to watch now, and just to see them continue to grow and layer and grow as men is going to be pretty awesome, because they're already great baseball players.
Bub, what's it been like for you to be a freshman, and you and your buddies, other freshmen, what's it been like to play such a key role, and then tonight get maybe the biggest hit of the game?
Like Butch said, you know, I don't feel like I'm a freshman. You know, I'm not anymore. You know, with us 3, you know, we do have some important roles, but you know, we feel like we have experience. You know, we came into this year not thinking we are young or, you know, unexperienced. You know, we came to battle, and that's what we've been doing this year.
Jeff?
Butch, 7,434, second straight night that you set an attendance record. What was it like to manage or to coach in that game? And if one of the players would say what it was like to play in that game.
I think the players are gonna have a better feel. I've been after this for 10 years to see where we're at when we walked in the door to see if it could get here. And I've said we've had so much help with this, but I have to be honest, my mind is between the lines right now and to try to do everything we can. We can feel them. It's a different atmosphere than it was when we walked in the door, and it's real. And this is year 24 in the Southeastern Conference, and I've been to all of them multiple times, and this is a true environment that this is real. I know this guy played at one of them that's got one of the biggest. We have what is an atmosphere now. I was trying to get this joker and our other guys we're up 4, let's keep the umpire on our side. We now have an atmosphere that we can stay with the game and keep our mind between the lines and go try to play great baseball, because these people are gonna take care of it. And I can feel that, and I'm just trying to keep our guys. This has been even a different feel for us. We can tell it's even a little bit more jazzed up, but everything will take care of itself if we can just focus on staying between the lines. But it's awesome. It looks like everybody's having a great time, and I know people will keep coming and celebrating this team, whether we advance or this is the end of the road. We don't know. That's why you go out and play the games. But I think it's a blast to be in this ballpark. I think it's a blast to watch these guys play. Again, I'll go back to how heck of if you appreciate this game and the randomness of it and quality of it, you were treated to an amazing baseball game tonight. And that's gonna keep us interested. It's gonna keep people wanting, hopefully, to come back again tomorrow night.
Jason? Jeff, do you have another one?
No.
Okay. Only Philip.
You've been waiting for that moment. What was that like?
It was awesome. You know, just like Coach Thompson said, with the fans and everything that them getting into it, you know, it made everything that much more special. And to go out there against a really good team and a competitive team, you know, I think that was a huge win for us. And you know, I think we need to keep that momentum going forward to tomorrow.